What if I told you there are SUVs out there that can outlive your job, your lease, and probably even your dog and still cost less than 8 grand? We're talking about high-mileage legends. Machines so tough, they've crossed the 6-digit mark without flinching, and some have clocked over 1 million miles. No joke. Today, we're diving into 7 unstoppable SUVs that have earned a spot in the million-mile club or are well on their way. These aren't showroom queens or garage ornaments. These are battle-tested beasts that keep running year after year without draining your wallet. So if you're after long-term reliability without the price tag, this list is your goldmine. You won't see this rugged SUV on every driveway, and that's exactly its secret weapon. Let's kick things off with a legend that's flown under the radar for way too long, the Toyota 4Runner, specifically the third-generation models from the late 1990s to early 2000s. These are body-on-frame brutes with a reputation for outliving their owners, and I mean that almost literally. The 3.4-liter V6 under the hood is a masterpiece of over-engineering. It's not flashy, but it's got one job, and that's to never quit. We're talking engines still running strong past 400,000 miles, and in some cases pushing past 600,000 with basic maintenance. Prices? You can still find clean examples under $8,000, especially if you're okay with higher mileage or a bit of cosmetic wear. And here's the kicker: these things hold their value like gold. Even beat-up ones won't dip much in price, which tells you just how much trust people have in them. The cabin is Spartan but solid, with controls that still feel tight after decades of use. Plus, the off-road capability isn't just marketing. These were built when Toyota still leaned heavily into durability over gimmicks. One owner on a Tacoma World forum wrote, "My '99 4Runner hit 480,000 miles before I had to change the clutch, and that was the first time." This SUV isn't just reliable, it's industrial strength, the kind of rig you buy once, drive forever, and pass down to your kids or maybe your grandkids. But the next SUV, that one's even more slept on, and might just be the best value on this list. It's the luxury SUV no one asked for, but every high-mileage hunter should consider. Say hello to the Saab 9-7X, and yes, I said Saab. This thing is the black sheep of the GM family, and that's exactly what makes it so underrated. Underneath that Scandinavian badge, it's basically a Chevy TrailBlazer in a fancier tuxedo. Same tough GMT 360 platform, same bulletproof 4.2-liter inline-6, and in the Aero trim, it even got the Corvette-sourced 6.0-liter V8. But here's the deal: because it wears a Saab badge, resale is in the basement. You can score one of these for $5,000 to $7,000 all day, sometimes even less. And don't let the badge fool you, this SUV is no fragile flower. Owners report these engines pushing well beyond 200,000 miles with minimal drama. One guy on a GM forum said, "Bought mine at 160, now at 250. Other than brakes and fluids, it's been boring in a good way." The interior is actually well appointed too. Heated leather seats, memory everything, and a quiet cabin that feels way more premium than its Chevy cousins. It's the perfect sleeper. Nobody's looking for it, so you get more power, more comfort, and the same rugged bones for less money. Maintenance is straightforward. Parts are everywhere thanks to GM commonality, and if you find one that's been cared for, this thing will soak up the miles without complaint. If you're hunting for a used SUV that'll outlast your patience and your paycheck, you're gonna want to stick around because the best picks are still coming, and the last one on this list might just be the most indestructible of them all. Hit that like button, and let's keep going. The next SUV, though, that one brings back old-school American muscle but with surprising grace. It's like a pickup truck in SUV clothing, and it just won't quit. Time to give it up for the Chevrolet TrailBlazer, especially those early to mid-2000 models. Now I know, this SUV doesn't scream prestige, but it quietly built a reputation as one of the longest-lasting American SUVs of its era. The secret? That 4.2-liter inline-6, known as the Vortec 4200. This engine is a torque-happy beast that was overbuilt in every way. Owners routinely push these past 300,000 miles with basic upkeep, and they're cheap to fix when something does go wrong. Right now, you can snag a solid TrailBlazer for between $4,000 and $7,000, depending on mileage and condition. And the crazy part is, the price barely reflects how capable this SUV is. Towing capacity? Up to 6,000 pounds. Cabin space? Generous, with rear seats that actually fold flat. Ride quality? Smooth and quiet thanks to a well-tuned suspension that doesn't punish you like some trucks do. And let's not forget this SUV shares parts with a whole fleet of GM vehicles. That means repairs are easy, junkyard parts are plentiful, and your mechanic probably already knows it inside and out. One longtime owner on a TrailBlazer forum said, "I'm at 320,000 and still running original engine and trans, wouldn't hesitate to take it cross-country tomorrow." It may not turn heads, but the TrailBlazer turns odometers like it's in a race. And the next SUV, it's got a weird look, sure, but inside, it's smarter and tougher than you'd ever expect. It looks like a school lunchbox, but it's built to survive a war. Let's talk about the Ford Flex. Yep, that oddly long, low-slung SUV that most people still don't quite know how to categorize. Is it a minivan, a wagon, an SUV? Honestly, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that this thing is a shockingly reliable road warrior. Underneath that quirky exterior lies the same rugged platform as the Ford Explorer, and when equipped with the 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6, it becomes one of the most bulletproof setups Ford ever made. You'll find well-maintained 2009 to 2012 Flex models with that engine in the $6,000 to $8,000 range, often with well under 200,000 miles. That's a bargain considering how much space, comfort, and long-haul reliability you're getting. And here's the kicker: owners absolutely swear by it. One post on a Ford Flex forum reads, "240,000 miles and still drives like new. I've hauled kids, trailers, furniture, nothing phases it. The ride quality is buttery smooth. The cabin feels more like a luxury lounge than a budget SUV, and the rear seat space is absurdly generous. It even has available all-wheel drive and a tow rating up to 4,500 pounds. Reliability-wise, the naturally aspirated V6 is your friend. Avoid the early EcoBoost if longevity is the goal." The Flex proved that quirky can still mean tough, but what if you could have true off-road muscle, Lexus-level luxury, and reliability so strong it puts some trucks to shame? The next SUV delivers all that, and it might just be the best-kept secret in the million-mile club. This is the luxury off-roader that quietly shreds mileage records. Meet the Lexus GX470, the lesser-known cousin of the legendary Land Cruiser, but with a personality all its own. Beneath that polished veneer lies the same rock-solid 4.7-liter V8, an engine so overbuilt it's been known to push well past 400,000 miles without breaking a sweat. And yes, there are real stories out there of these things brushing up against the 500,000 mark, all with regular oil changes and basic upkeep. One owner shared, "Bought mine at 314,000 miles and daily drove it past 327 with no issues. Even my mechanic tried to buy it off me." That kind of loyalty doesn't come from hype, it comes from relentless reliability. Sure, the GX470 isn't the cheapest to fuel premium gas, and a thirst for it are part of the package, but you're trading a few extra bucks at the pump for a driving experience that feels closer to a high-end cruiser than a pricey, clunky SUV. You get leather seats, real wood trim, and that classic Lexus silence in the cabin, all backed by full-time four-wheel drive and legit off-road capability. And because it shares a lot with Toyota's 100 series, parts are available and maintenance isn't nearly as painful as it sounds. You can still find early 2000 GX470s in the $6,000 to $8,000 range, especially if you're okay with higher mileage. But trust me, when a luxury SUV is built like a tank and lasts like a Toyota, that's not mileage, that's proof. It's the SUV that does everything except give up. Say hello to the Hyundai Santa Fe, especially those second-generation models built between 2007 and 2012. Now, before you raise an eyebrow, yes, Hyundai didn't always have the best reputation, but this era marked a turning point. The 3.3-liter and 3.5-liter V6 engines found in these SUVs are surprisingly stout, and with routine maintenance, they've proven to be solid long haulers. Plenty of owners report racking up over 250,000 miles with little more than regular oil changes, timing belt service, and a set of brakes. And here's the kicker. Because people still underestimate Hyundai, these Santa Fe's are crazy affordable. We're talking $4,000 to $6,000 for clean, well-kept examples. Inside, you get a comfortable, practical cabin with room for 5 or even 7 passengers in some trims, and standard features that were generous for the price back then, things like heated seats, Bluetooth, and available all-wheel drive. One owner on a Santa Fe forum said, "Bought it for $4,000 with 150 on the clock. I'm now at 240, haven't done anything major, and it just keeps moving." That's the kind of quiet reliability that makes this SUV a sleeper hit. It may not have the flash or pedigree of a Toyota or Lexus, but the Santa Fe earns its stripes the hard way by showing up, starting every morning and just working. And our final pick? It's a fan favorite, but most folks still don't know just how far it can really go. It's the SUV you've seen everywhere but never knew was built to go anywhere. Rounding out the list is the Honda CR-V, specifically third-generation models from 2007 to 2011. Now, this isn't a shocker. Honda's been making dependable vehicles for decades. But what's surprising is just how far these CR-Vs can go with basic maintenance. We're talking over 300,000 miles on original engines and transmissions, and not just rare unicorns. These numbers come up over and over in owner forums, YouTube reviews, and high-mileage brag posts all across the internet. The 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine is simple, efficient, and tough as nails. It's not a speed demon, but it gets the job done and sips fuel while doing it, averaging close to 25 miles per gallon. Inside, it's Honda all the way. Practical layout, smooth controls, and rear seats that fold flat with ease. The all-wheel drive system isn't meant for rock crawling, but in snow, rain, or the worst kind of slush, it just works. Best part? You can find these CR-Vs all day long under $8,000. Look for higher mileage units with service records, and you've got one of the best no-nonsense used SUVs money can buy. One owner summed it up perfectly: "It's not exciting, but it's the best decision I've made." This SUV isn't just reliable, it's predictably reliable, which might be the highest praise you can give a used vehicle. So there you have it, 7 SUVs that won't just get you from point A to B, but from 100,000 miles to 1,000,000, with a few road trips in between. These rides aren't about flash, they're about function, value, and the kind of durability you used to find in your grandpa's old truck. Which one of these would you trust to take you the distance? Drop your pick in the comments, and if you made it this far, give us a like and subscribe for more smart, reliable car picks every week.